Will
exams.
now be
Like,
recorded.
yeah, thank you for that. So I am helping the candidates in passing their certification exam, like the PMP, ACP, PSM1, PSM2, the Scrum Master. Other than that, the Salesforce, the ITIL, and I'm also providing the tools training like the MS Project, the Selenium, the ServiceNow. Yeah. So I'm MBA and I'm BTech and I'm PMP, ACP, PSM1, PSM2, ITIL, Salesforce, OCJP certified. Yeah. So can you just give me about brief about your profile, like in which domain you are currently working, how much experience you have, and what is your aspiration for doing this path, like going for the PMP exam? Yet Raj and Ren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, let me go first. And
Mm-hmm.
I have total of 18 years of experience
Great.
into SAP. I'm into SAP domain, and recently completed my project management. Executive general management from ISB, but I
Great.
never did my PMP certification. That's the reason I'm trying to do this PMP certification and willing to know the exact process, how this works.
Great. Great.
And, that's the main reason I joined for this PMP course.
And you are at the right place. I can guarantee you. Yeah. So what about Dhanraj? What is your aspiration for doing this PMP exam? Mhm. So let's start the demo. So first of all, I welcome you to this exclusive PMP demo. I'm really very excited to have all of you here. Like I was expecting few more candidates, but right now, if you are there, no issue with that. So before we begin, so how, as we discussed, like how many years, how many of you already manage the projects? So as you told, like you are working experience, you are having the more than 18 years. That means you are already managing projects. I can assume that, right, Glenn? So this will be not like I'm just speaking and you're just listening. So it will be an interactive kind of session so that I can understand you are connected with me. We can have a connection. We can discuss each and every topic here. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So now over around 1 hour, so I'm going to walk you through each and everything you need to know before you start your PMP journey. So that include this is our session agenda. How the PMP exam is structured, what exactly the PMI expects from you, what are the key project management concepts we will cover during this particular session. There are 49 processes, there are 10 knowledge areas. These are very, very complex, you can say, the language explained in the PMBOK. So there is a book called PMBOK, the Project Management Book of Knowledge. Each and everything is coming from that particular book. Okay, so these are the 49 processes, the 10 knowledge areas, then the 5 process groups are there. It is depend on the predictive exam, the predictive methodology, agile, and the hybrid. Earlier than 2021, it was only the predictive, the waterfall model. The PMI is conducting the PMP exam. They changed they call it as exam content line, the ECO. So they change the content line, they include the agile and the hybrid project management. So it is like after 3 to 4 years, they just review the PMBOK guide and they see like what is currently happening in the market to make it more, you can say, the relatable to the current market. They change the content line. Okay, only 10 to 15% was changed, but this time this was a major change because right now the more than the 50% questions are coming from the agile and the hybrid. Then we will cover the exam content outline, the domains, and the mindset. The mindset is the major thing. So that is, and also my personal strategy, how you I can help you to crack your PMP exam in your first attempt. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we will discuss how will I help you with the real exam questions. I will help you with the real practice sets and even filling the PMP application step by step process, because there is an audit process. Once if your application is coming to that audit process, you have to provide the proofs for each and everything you have written in the exam in your application, just like how much experience you have. So you have to get the approval, or you have to get the letter from your peers, from your managers, each and everything according to that. So we will help you to fill the application so that you don't come into that audit process. Okay, so by the end of this demo you will be crystal clear on how to approach your PMP journey and confident about getting certified. Okay, so first thing is understanding the PMP exam structure. Anywhere, if you want to discuss any point, you can just raise your voice and we will discuss about that. Okay, so let's start with the basic. What is the PMP? What is exactly the PMA testing for you? Okay, so PMP is project management professionals that is offered by the PMI. The PMI is the Project Management Institute, which is world's most recognized authority in the project management. Okay? This certification is not just about memorizing the definition or memorizing the processes. No, it is about having or the proving that you can think as a project manager, you can act as a project manager, and you can make the decisions like a real project manager. Okay, so PMP has evolved a lot in the recent years. It is no longer only about the traditional, as I told you, or the predictive project management. It is now the perfect blend of the predictive, the agile, and the hybrid approaches. Okay, here's something many candidates don't realize: like the PMP exam is not about what you do in your company. You have to you have to put each and everything what you have done till date out of the room. You have to check, you have to learn what it is about, what the PMI expects an ideal project manager to be do in any environment, right? That is a situation. Many times you will say during the session, many times you will say during the exam as well, like this is not the thing I'm doing in the real world, but that is a sense. PMI wants you the ideal project manager. That ideal project manager may not suits into the real world situation. Okay, so as you are the IT professional, PMP will help you translate your technical leadership into the structure, the predictable, and the project delivery. Okay? So this is the exam structure in the PMP. PMP consists around not the around the exactly 180 questions to be completed into the exact 230 minutes. That is 3 hours and 50 minutes. Out of those 180 questions, about 175 questions are scored questions. 5 questions are the unscored questions. They call them as a pilot questions. So they are just for the future testing, right? So, how many questions do you think like come from the agile and the hybrid combined? Can you guess? Can you give it rough guess? So it is more than 50% exactly. So PMI now tests roughly 50% agile and hybrid questions, and the rest are the traditional, the predictive, or the waterfall model questions. Okay. So the exams cover the three main domains. The first domain is the people domain, second is the process domain, the business domain. It consists around her 42%, process is the 50%, and the business environment is the 8%. Okay, so each question is a situational question. In around 180 questions, each and every question is a situational question. That is not asking like what is, like if there are the 49 processes, which is the 40 number processes, which is the 25th number of the process. No, that is not like that. You have to understand each and every process, then make your mindset, and then you can understand those situational questions. Meaning, you will be given a scenario and you will be asked what should the project manager or program manager do in this particular situation, how to act into that. That is the testing of the PMP. Okay, so your success totally depend on understanding the PMI's mindset, not memorizing the definitions. Okay, each and everything will be scenario based here. So with that, We have to create our mindset. For that, we have to think how the PMI way of the thinking. Okay, so let's get comfortable with this some project management terms, right? Because understanding the PMI language is the first step here. Okay, so how many have you heard the words like the terms like the scope baselines, the WBS, or the change control board at the work? Have you done that kind of a thing? It would be
Nitin,
really great. Yeah.
I never had an experience, hands-on experience in handling a project. Till now, I worked under as a project lead only, not more than that.
Yeah, no, no, definitely, definitely. That is I can see that is a great thing because you don't have any experience in the program or the project manager. That means you have the better chance to pass the PMP because uh, if anyone is working in the project manager and the program manager shoes since say 4 to 5 years, they have their mindset. Now they have to change their entire mindset to be a PMI mindset, right? But now you don't have to do that effort. You just have to create your PMI mindset here. That is a great thing. So we have, let me just go to the next. Yeah. So we have the five process groups here. So these are the five process groups. The five process groups are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. Initiating is like where the project actually officially begins. Planning, where we define what is the scope, what work we will do, how long it will take, how much it will cost, what will be the quality of the work, how many resources will be required to complete this particular project, what will be our communication plan. Like we have to design our communication plan for the multiple levels because as a project manager, we have to communicate with the product owner, with the external stakeholders, with the customers, with the C-level executives, and within the team as well. So with the individuals, we have to design our communication plan by keeping in mind like which stakeholder wants what kind of the information, in what kind of the frequency, in what kind of the format. So we have to understand that. In the planning, we will do only the planning, how the things will be done. Then in the executing, we will do the actual work according to that planning, where the actual work gets done. Now, when we are doing the actual work, we have to check the steps like the monitoring controlling. Are we on the track? Are we off the track? If we are off the track, then we have to take the corrective actions, right? Then the closing, where we formally complete the project. Okay, and it is like each and every project moves through these process groups. If we talk about in the waterfall mainly, okay, in the hybrid mainly. So have you worked in the agile or are you working in the hybrid or are you working in the waterfall model?
Agile is the one that probably we follow, I believe.
Great, great. So agile, I think the scrum will be there. Okay.
Yes, Scrum is.
But
Um,
here we will cover other things as well. We will cover the scrum, we will cover the Kanban, we will cover the XP, we will cover the crystal, but mainly the focus is on the scrum. Okay. Then we have the 10 knowledge areas. These represent the major aspect of the entire project management. So these are the integration, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resources, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholder. You have to just keep this in your mind by the initiative. Like I have I have remembered this as ISS, like the integration scope schedule, CQR, the cost, quality, resources, and CRPS. So communication are procurement and stakeholders. So let me just share this screen with the yeah. These are the this is the this is the free PMP exam content outline, the entire exam definition. So let me just show you what we have covered here. So these are the three domains we have covered. Like the people will be there, the process is there, the business environment is there. That is the total 100 percentage of the item test. Okay. Yeah. So this is the process chart here. Let me just, yeah. So these are the knowledge areas, the 10 knowledge areas I'm talking about. The integration, the project, scope management, schedule, cost, quality, resources. The 10 knowledge areas mean the 10 things the entire project is depend upon. Okay. Then we have these knowledge groups, process groups, initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and controlling. Then we have the 49 processes. So 49 processes comes into the, you can say, if you want to go through the knowledge areas, so you have the develop charter, develop project management plan, direct and project manage work, monitor project control work, and closing the project phase. If you want to go through the process group, then in the initiating, we have only two processes. That is develop the project charter, identify the stakeholders. So that is where we will go through this particular course. We will cover this process group, like we will initiate the program because we want to make a flow. We will take an example of the program, the first the waterfall or the high, first the waterfall, the predictive. We will see in the initiating what is the develop project charter, how it starts, what are the different aspects of the project charter we have. The second thing is the identify the stakeholders. Then we will move to the planning phase. That is the massive thing in the predictive and the waterfall model. So we will do the planning, each and every kind of the planning. We will get the WBS, we will define the activities for the scheduling, then for the cost management, for the quality management, for the resource management, for the communication management, risk management, right? Then we will go the executing because we have planned. Now we need to do the actual work where we will direct, we will acquire the team, we will develop the team, we will manage the team, we will manage the communication. Manage communication, manage team means we are actually doing the communication. Okay. Then we will in the flow as the real world projects happens. So the monitoring and controlling, we will check each and every step. Are we on the track? If we are not on the track, we have to take the corrective actions. In the last, we will close the project. So these are the process groups we have. Okay. So these are the 49 processes. And when I say my candidates, they first share these 49 processes. So they panic a bit. Maybe you are also panicking how we will cover these 49 processes. Let me just give you the glimpse of the process as well. What is a process? Yeah. So it is like a process. This is a develop project charter process. There are few inputs, there are few tools and techniques, and the outputs. So we will feed these inputs, then we will utilize these tools and techniques, and then we'll get something as a result. Just for example, in the develop project charter, just think like when a project starts, what is the starting point for that? Number one is the business case, the benefit management plan. That is the reason of the existence of the project. What is the benefit the organization is going to get by implementing this particular project? Right? That is the inputs. Then the agreements, then we will cover the EEF and the OPS. These are the enterprise environmental factors and the organizational processes. Just don't think about these, just understand the business case, the benefit management plan. Then we will feed these things into the tools and techniques. It is like how we can achieve the project charter. We have to take the expert judgment, we have to go for the brainstorming, the focus group interviews with the different stakeholders, maybe the sponsors, maybe the customers. Like for that we have to apply the interpersonal and the team skills, like the conflict management, like when we will discuss the things with the sponsors, with the product owner. So we have to give and take kind of the situation. There could be the conflict on the priorities, right? So and the meetings, these are the tools. So what in the output we will get? We will get a project charter and we will get the assumption log. What are their assumptions about each and everything? Because writing down the assumption is very clear. Like it is like if someone is thinking to build to bring the apple and we are thinking like they need the orange and we deliver the orange. So that is a difference between that. We have to write each and every assumption so that if what our end customers are thinking, we are also understanding the same thing. So it is called ETOs. ETOs means inputs, tools, techniques, and output. So we have 49 processes here. Each and every one has their inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. Any doubt here? So I suggest just don't panic with these 49 processes, right? Trust me, once you will see the logic, it is very, very simple. It is very structured because we will cover the structured way. What is the structured way? We will first cover the common inputs and tools and techniques. What are the common inputs, tools, and techniques, and the output for the entire 10 knowledge areas or the 5 process groups? Then we will cover with the process, like we will first do the initiating a project, then planning a project, then executing a project, then monitoring, controlling a project, then closing a project. Okay. Then we will cover each and every individual process, right? Which are the unique process for that particular process group. Okay, so let's make it very interactive, right? You already manage most of these processes. You just don't label them as a PMI style. Okay, that is the thing. You will understand when you will go through with me in this particular sessions. Now, we will have the some of the common processes. The common processes are like develop project management plan, the monitor controlling project work, performing integrated change control. These are the common processes. We will get into that. These processes are like the glue. They keep all the areas aligned. Whether you are handling a project scope changes, whether you have having the cost variances or the stakeholder issues. Integration process ensure that every change is properly evaluated and documented. So this is like a glue. Then first we will cover the predictive model, the waterfall model, because the 50% exam is still based on the waterfall of the predictive model. Okay, so you have worked in the agile, but you have to also understand the waterfall model for the exam purpose. Okay, so in the predictive projects, everything is planned upfront. You define your scope, you define your schedule, you define the budget early. Then you need to follow a sequential process. The sequential process means even each and everything is step-by-step process. So let us just visualize. First is the initiating project, where we will develop a project charter. That means formally authorize the project work. Okay. Then we'll identify the stakeholders. It is like who will impact or be impacted by the project. Then we will do the planning. In the planning is like we will define the scope. We will create a WBS, the work breakdown structure. We will develop a schedule. We will sequence those activities. We will estimate those activity durations. We will develop the schedules. Okay. Then we will estimate the cost. We will determine like how much the budget is required for this particular project. Then we'll plan quality. Like what will be the quality we will deliver for this particular project. We will plan the resources, like how many resources we will require to complete this project, right? We will plan our communication, we will plan our risk and etc. So then we will move to the executing process. Executing means we are going to direct and manage the project work. We are going to manage the quality, we are going to manage the team, we are going to manage the communication. We are even if we are using the third party, so we are going to manage the procurement as well. Okay, so then we will check like if we are on the track or not. So we will perform the integrated change control because we have planned each and everything. Now if something need to be changes, that should be through perform integrated change control process, right? There will be change control board. We will show them like this is the change request is there. Then we will show them like what will be the impact on the scope, on the plan, on the cost, on the schedule. Then the change control board will be approve or reject. If they approve that, that will be the part of our project management plan. Otherwise we will keep that in a separate space. Okay, then we will control the scope, we will control the schedule, we will control the cost, we will control the quality, we will control the risk. Controlling means we are checking, are we on the right scope, are we doing the each and everything, are we not doing the scope creep, are we not doing the gold plating. Gold plating means sometimes it's happened like if developer is there, he has estimated like this particular user story. You already know like you are working in agile world, so they think they have estimated the user story to be completed in 5 days, right? But they finish it into the 4.5 days. They have this half day left. They just think like if I add this particular extra feature, our client will be very happy. That is a goal plating. No one asks for that particular feature, but they are thinking to add that feature on their own. That is gold plating, right? Then the scope creep is there. Scope creep means the uncontrollable changes there. As we have defined the project management plan, we have defined the scope management plan. So we will define a scope baseline. Scope baseline, each and every stakeholders will agree on that. Like the end thing that will be delivered, that will be look like this, like this. Each one will have an agreement on that. Nothing more than, nothing less than. So we will not do the scope creep. We will not do the gold plating. Okay. In the same manner, we will control the schedule. Like if we have planned like this particular project will be finished into the 6 months, into you can say the each month we will have the 15 days of this sprint. That means we are having the 12 sprints. So after the fourth sprint, if our C-level executive asks us where are we in this particular path, are we going to complete into the right time or before time, or we will be delayed. So we have to check those things. Then the cost, if we have defined our entire budget, like it will be like $2 million, so for the 6 months. So after the 3 months, we need to check, are we spending right? Do we need to get the more budget? Are we going to over budget? Are we going to save something for our higher management? For that, we have the EVM, the earned value management. That is the only numerical based part of the PMP. There will be the number of the formulas. We will calculate each and everything to check the current health and also to predict the future as well, right? If we go on this particular pace, so we will save this much of the month, this much of the time, this much of the budget. So, and the control quality means we will control the quality. We will check like if we have delivered the same thing which our end customers is demanding. Now we will control the risk. Control risk means we will identify if there is risk or not there. That risk could impact our scope, schedule, and the cost. So we will identify that risk. We will do the quantitative and the qualitative analysis of the risk. Qualitative means we will prioritize that risk. Like if five risks are there, which is our number one priority risk, we will quantify that particular risk. Like if this risk is actually going to happen, then this much of the amount in the budget, in the scope, in the schedule, this will impact us. Then we will create our implementation plan for that particular risk. Then we will implement that risk plan. Then we will verify if our plan is working or not, implementation that risk plan is working or not, or it has generated some new risk as well. So that is the risk planning we will do. Then we will do the closing the project or closing a phase as well. So let's take an IT example. Imagine you are leading a core banking software upgrade project. Okay. In the predictive mode, you will define all the modules, the approval workflows, the testing cycles, and use the sign-offs before the development begins, right? So every change goes through a formal change request and the approval process. That is perfect for the stable world, right? Where we have defined very clearly each and every requirements. We are in the regulated environments, but it struggles when requirements keep evolving, right? There the agile comes into the picture because the requirements are keep going changes. That is the adaptive way of the working. Okay, and this is the buzzword in the today's IT landscape as well. So Narendra has worked in the agile. So you also have worked in the agile world?
Yes, I work in Agile.
Okay, great. So agile focus on the collaboration, flexibility, and delivering the value early and often. What that means? It is like a eat the cake first. We will define the entire, if the product is there. So we will define the entire product into the user stories. That will become our product backlog. Then we'll prioritize that according what is the most valuable thing for the end customer or the stakeholders. What are the different dependencies for the user stories? What are the risk if implement this particular user stories? According to these criteria, we prioritize the thing. We prioritize the entire product backlog. Okay, that is a thing. eat the cake first. Now, if our team is implementing top 5 features in the incoming 2 sprints, that means we are delivering the most valuable thing to the end customer, right? That is the thing. That's why we say in the agile, eat the cake first. They are eating the cake first. So in the traditional project, the success is deliver what we have planned. But in the agile, success is deliver what the customer actually needs, right? Because if we have built something, it is like then we will show the demo to our end customer, then they will check like it is something is missing into that, then they can tell us like can this be changed according to their actual expectations, then we will implement that particular change. So we are very very clear, we are very very near what the actual customers actually needs, what they have in their mind, right? That is the sense of the agile. So in the agile, we will have the agile frameworks. We will have the scrum where we have the different ceremonies. 5 ceremonies are there. We will do the time box sprint. We will understand each and everything. And also most important in the agile, what is the role of a product owner? What is the role of a scrum master? What is the role of a development team? Then we will cover the ceremonies like the backlog refinement meeting, the sprint planning meeting, the daily scrum, the what is expected into the sprint review and the retrospective. Okay, then we will cover the Kanban. That is something like continuous flow using a visualization board. Right, that is a continuous delivery. There is no time box sprint. It is like once a particular employee is having the bandwidth, they will accept those tickets. Then we will cover the XP, that is the extreme programming, where we will focus on the engineering practices like the pair programming, the test-driven development. Let me tell you, extreme programming is totally focused on the software development piece. Okay, so let us imagine you are developing a mobile app. In the predictive, how will you do? You would plan everything for the next 6 months and deliver the entire mobile app only once, right? How it will work in the agile? You will deliver the small increments like every 2 weeks and get the feedback on those two increments, and then we'll adjust according to that. Okay. Then we will cover the agile stakeholder management. That means in the
Okay.
agile, stakeholders are not just the end of the process. They are continuously engaged. I have worked in the waterfall model more than 8 years. We don't involve our stakeholders on the daily basis, right? Here we have the agile, where the product owner is there who interacts with the customers frequently. We will show them like what we are currently building. We review our increments after the every sprints with the end customers, and we reprioritize the backlog item based on their feedback. Like if something value is changed according to them, so we will go to our backlog defined meeting with the product owner. We will change the priority of that, right? Think about your current projects, like how often do your stakeholders changes their minds, right? Almost every sprint, right? That is exactly why the agile exists, because it embraces the change instead of resisting those changes, right? Then we have the agile planning and the continuous improvement. The improvement is the thing we need to adopt. It is like Kaizen process. Kaizen means it is a Japanese word. We need to implement the improvement, but a little bit at a time. Not it's like we will change the entire process. You will go to your team and you will announce like now from the tomorrow we are going to change the entire process. That is not going to work. Why? Because each one will resist, each one has their mindset, each one has their routine. So that's why we have the Kaizen means you will say like in the next 5 months we will spend 30 minutes to think some kind of the productive ideas, some kind of the AI ideas, some kind of the buzzword ideas. So that is the small improvement. Agile work into that as well. Agile planning happens at multiple level, because we have to plan. It is not like if we are in the agile we not plan. We will plan number one thing, product vision. That is our long term goal, that is the entire goal. Then the second thing, release planning, that is the medium term goal. Then we have the iteration, the sprint planning, that is a short term goal. Like in the next 15 days, we will complete this particular part of our entire product. So that is the iteration sprint planning. After every sprint, we have the retrospective. That is the terms where the team will reflect what went well, what did not well, what can be improved next time, what we need to stop right now, what we need to start right now. Okay. So the mindset of the continuous learning and improvement is what makes Agile very, very powerful. You are not just managing a project, you are evolving that particular project. Okay. Then we will cover the hybrid projects. Not every organization is purely agile or purely productive. Many modern IT projects use a hybrid approach where they combine the best of both of the world. The hybrid will come into the picture when we will combine the agile and the predictive. Just for the example, imagine a large ERP implementation project is there. The overall development or the deployment plan and the architecture might follow a predictive model because there is a clear expectation, clear requirements are there. But the individual modules are built using the agile sprints. That is the hybrid approach. We will see like when we have the 50-50, that is the hybrid model. When we have the little bit agile and more productive, that is the hybrid model. We will also cover when there's lot of predictive and little bit agile. So this all kind of the hybrids projects we will cover. So PMP recognize this flexibility and the exam include the hybrid scenarios as well, where you must decide which approach fits best. Any doubts still now? These are the I'm not covering any topic today. I'm just showing what is the entire content outline is there, what we will cover during the entire session, and in what flow we will cover these things. Then the exam content outline. We have already seen like the PMP exam is divided into the three domains: people domain, process domain, and the business domain. People domain, that is the 42%. That is how we are going to lead, how we are going to motivate, how we are going to resolve the conflicts, how we are going to make our team perform best out of their potential. Then the processes are there. That means how the planning, executing, risk, procurement, and delivery will happen. Then the business environment, strategic alignment, the benefit realization, and the compliance. Right? Each domain has multiple tasks. Just for the example, in the people, we have the tasks like manage the conflict, how we are going to see the conflict. There are the number of the levels of the conflict, how to act in those particular scenarios, how to act, how to identify which level of the conflict is there, right? Then how to lead a team, because the PMP thinks you like a leader, not like a project manager, right? You have to lead the entire day. You don't have to dictate the terms. You have to make an environment for the teams so that they can grow, they can think, they can experiment, and they can implement their knowledge. Then how we empower the team so that they can take their own decisions. These are the tasks will be there. Then support the team performance. We have to provide them the feedback time to time, like this is the way, this is you are lacking, this is how we can improve the things. So in the people domain, these are the tasks we need to cover. Then in the process domain, the task is execute the project with the appropriate methodology. Like you have the multiple types of the methodology. The agile is there, the hybrid is there, the waterfall is there. Within the agile, the scrum is there, the kanban is there, the scrum ban is there, the XP is there, the crystal is there, the TDD is there, the DSM is there. So you need to identify which particular app methodology will suits to your project, right? It is not like if you want to implement this scrum and you will implement that. No, you have to check what are the criteria suit for the scrum. Maybe you're having the clear definition of the requirements, so you don't have to go into the agile world. You can go with the predictive model. So we will check those criterias. Then we will in the process we will manage the budget. Like we will define the budget, how we can define the budget, we will see that. Then that budget will be presented to the sponsor, they will approve that project. Now we need to manage the entire thing, entire project into that particular budget only. Okay, we don't have to we leverage to go over the budget, right? Then the manage the resources, then manage the plan, manage the schedule. Then the business environment. Business environment means we need to we need to see the task, like how we can evaluate the project benefits, like what is the reason of this particular project, why it is exist, what are the benefits the organization is going to get. They may get the benefits that are the monetary benefits, like this much of the profit will increase, this much of the market share they will acquire, this much of the customers they will acquire from that. There could be the non-monetary things as well, things like they want to change the perception of the customers, right? They want to improve their customer feedback services. So these are the project benefits they will get. Manage the compliances. The compliances is the biggest thing right now. As you can see in the USA, the Donald Trump is making so many policies. So if we are not compliance for those policies, so our project will fail. So we need to understand how to manage those compliances. Now deliver the value. Each and everything is value deliver driven delivery in the agile world, right? So how we are going to prioritize our entire product backlog so we are delivering the most valuable thing in first step for our end customer. Then my that is my thing, the PMI mindset. This is the key part. Let me tell you, I have implemented this, I have created this mindset, I have implemented first on myself. How I implemented that? I have taken the 30 toughest question of the PMP. I have not read the question. Okay, I have just read the options, like there are the four or two, five options are there. I just read. According to this mindset, I am able to, you can see the answer 21 out of those 30 questions correctly. That is the thing. That is the magic of the mindset. Without reading, even reading the question. How? Because I have the mindset. I know as a project manager what PMI expects me in this particular situation. So if the options are there, I can check like this is not the thing the PMI can expect from me. I have created that mindset for me. So we will cover that particular mindset because PMI wants you to act like a servant leader in a agile situation and a responsible decision maker in a traditional ones. That is the thing. If the team, just for example, if the team is facing a blocker in the agile, what is the correct response? The correct response is not escalate to the management. It is help the teams to remove the impediments. So according to that, we will see, we will develop our mindset, and then we will see, we will the options. Just for another example, if the scope is changing in a predictive project, don't say yes. You have to go through a change control process. So if you have created that particular mindset, and when you are reading the options, you know like this particular option cannot be correct because that is not the way the PMI want us to think. That is a mindset shift. Understanding what the PMI expects in each context is what we will practice throughout the training. Okay, it is not like covering the exam content outline. It is like creating our mindset with that exam content outline, right? It is not like covering the 49 process. We are not going to remember each and every etos, the inputs, what are the inputs of the process number 2, what are the tools and techniques of the process number 3, what is the output of the process number 20. No, we will understand each and every process. We will understand all the knowledge areas. We will understand the process groups in the predictive, and we will understand the agile mindset. Then we will create our mindset. Then we will implement that mindset into the questions, practice question sets. Then we will check like, are we on the right track or not? Are we able to identify what the PMI actually expects from us to act into that particular situation? If not, then definitely we can go again back to the that particular topic. Okay, so that is the course structure and the learning strategy. This is not just a knowledge session, it is a strategy driven program. Let me tell you, here's my plan. Each major topic, after each major topic we will cover the 50 real style questions. That means we have the 10 knowledge areas. We will cover the 50 real style questions after the each and individual 10 knowledge areas. That means you immediately reinforce what you have learned, right? So that means the 500 questions are there for those particular 10 knowledge areas. At the end of the course, we will take 4 full-length mock exam. That is the 180 questions each. That is 180 into 4, 720 questions. Then we will cover at least 200 questions for the agile. That means you are having around 1500 questions around totally. That means most of the candidates most of the candidates say like they have completed the theoretical part, but after the completing the 35 hours of the training, now they have to spend much time for the practice sets, right? Because then they have to buy the practice sets questions as well. Here what will happen, in these 35 hours of the training, we will cover the each and everything, the exam question sets. We will discuss your doubts, we will discuss your answers, we will check, and then we will be very much ready after the 36th day. You can give your exam in 36, 37 day according to your convenience, but you will be ready after the 35 days. We will analyze every mock in the detail, learn the logic behind each and every answer, and adjust your strategy. I've seen the students who have start with the 50% score, and by the end they have reached the 80% plus score because of the consistent questions practice, and most important thing, mindset. That is the thing we need to have. So, all right, we have seen the entire picture here. Let's step back for a moment. Think about where you are in your career. PMP is not just like a certificate. It is like a transformation. It will change how you think. It will change how you lead. It will change how you communicate your decisions. So, you are in the IT. So in the IT, the PMP certified managers are trusted for the leadership. It is like a stamp on them. Like they could be the great leader. They could be the great program managers. They could be the great, you can say, the delivery heads. They could be act very well into the PMO roles as well, because they bring the structure and the predictability. So here's the best part. With the right guidance, you can clear your PMP in very first attempt. In my sessions, we will go beyond the theory. We will apply the real project scenarios. We will apply the IT based examples, and we will. That's why I asked you like in which particular domain you are working, because I have trained the PMP candidates in the different domains as well. So we discuss all the examples based on their domains. But right now we are in the you are in the IT, so we'll discuss the IT based examples and constant practice sets. That is the key of passing the PMP exam. It is not like covering the entire content. No, that is not the key. The key is how much we practice for that. So you will be get the recorded session for revisions. You will get the 50 plus question set each topic wise. You will get for full mock test. You will get more than 250 questions for the agile part, and the doubt session until you pass your exam. I am with you. So if you have been planning to get a certified for a while, this is your time. Don't let this 2025 pass without just the intent. Let's make it happen. I will guide you step by step from your first class to your final exam day. All I need from you is the commitment, a few hours each week to change your career path forever. Let me tell you, we will cover this way. We will cover the one knowledge area. Then I will give you the 50 practice questions. You need to attend those 50 questions at your home, because if we spend at least 1 minute into the discussing the each 50 questions, we will going to spend an entire session. That is not the correct way. Correct way is like you need to spend some time at your home to attempt those 50 questions, because out of those 50 questions, maybe the 40 questions you don't need any kind of the discussion. Because you have covered the entire session, because you have covered the entire topic, so you can easily find out the best answer for that. But the 10 questions you have the doubts, so next day we will discuss those 10 questions. Okay, we will cover like this. Okay. So remember, like PMP is not just about passing an exam. It is about becoming the kind of the leader every team wishes they had. And I can tell you, there is a great demand in the IT market right now. The leaders who are the PMP certified. Okay. So thank you for joining this particular demo today. I truly appreciate your time. if you feel like this session is going to add the clarity and the value, so imagine what the full program can do for your career. So let's open the floor for any quick questions you have. Feel free to unmute yourself. Okay, I will share the course details and the enrollment details as well. So just let's take like if you have any question. Noreen, Dhanraj,
Yeah, yes, Nitin.
yeah.
As your
So do you have any question about the
yes, I do
process?
have not about the process, about
Hmm.
the content,
Yeah,
specifically. We are going to cover Scrum, XP, and the Kanban.
we're
Are you
going
able
to
to,
cover the
yeah,
Scrum XP Crystal as well.
yeah. Okay. If you are able to cover a lean method,
Yeah,
that will be
definitely. The lean
helpful.
is the so lean is not like the separate than the agile. Lean is the you can say the mother of the agile. That will be part of the individual. The lean. What is the lean? Lean means we need to eliminate the waste, right? So Scrum methodology is there, the XP is there, the Kanban is there, the TD is there, the Crystal is there. In each and every individual things, we have to implement the lean. So definitely we are going to learn first lean, then we'll cover these because lean is not a separate methodology in the agile.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anything else you want to cover, or you want to change the process, or you want to change the approach?
Like, see, as per my understanding, the
Hmm.
PMP will cover the budgeting, people management, everything, and I hope everything is covered inside this one.
Yeah, as I told you,
Yes, yes, yeah,
like in this particular thing, we will start in the
yeah.
initiating. We will do the scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder management. Each and everything we will cover.
Were there any tools that will be included for these processes?
There's no tool required for the PMP. We
Hmm.
will cover the EVM part, the earned value management. That is the numerical part. We will cover the formulas. We will cover do the practice question sets for that. Other than that, what tool you want to cover?
Hmm. No,
Nitin, as
There's
you
I'm
multiple.
mentioned,
Yeah,
MS projects you mentioned earlier, right?
yeah.
Uh,
MS project
uh,
is here. We can
yes.
cover the MS project. We can cover the Jira. We can cover the Trello. We can cover the Miro. But in this separate session, not in the PMP session, because that is required 15 working hours separately. If you want that, you can join that session as well.
Okay. Okay. And
Mhm.
what is the
Yeah.
total duration of this course, the PMP one?
PMP expects you to complete the 35 hours of the learning. So we will cover the 35 hours of the learning. In that learning, they expect you to cover just the theoretical part. But if you spend the time on the once we cover one particular project, one particular not the project, not particular the knowledge area, I will provide the questions. You can do at your home. Then we will discuss the answers. So we will cover the practice sets as well as the theoretical part into the 35 sessions. We can go more than that because if you want to spend more than 1 hour individual day, so we can cover it into the 25 days. That is not the issue, but the total duration will be the 35. And if you have still the doubts, we can go beyond that 36, 37. That is not an issue because I am here to help you pass your exam. It is not like after the 35 hours and you still have the doubts, you are getting your score 65 to 70%, and you want more clarification on the topics. And I will say, like, I have completed 35 hours, so I will not do that. No, I will be in the touch till you pass your exam. Okay. Anything else?
You told like Zira and other tools will not be included in this PMP, right?
That is not the PMP training part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not the PMP training part. If you want that, I can provide the training as well onto those topics as well.
Do you know the Confluence? Are you able to teach us the Confluence tool?
I can teach you the Confluence, I can teach you the Rally, but that is not the part of the PMP training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just asking for the other things.
Yeah,
other than
sure.
the
I can tell
PMP?
you, I can teach you the Confluence, I can teach you the Rally, I can teach you the MS Project, I can teach you the Jira, I can teach you the Monday.com, I can teach you the Trello. No, lot of tools are there. The Visio, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Whatever tool that is required for the project management, I can teach you. And if you are in the QA environment as well, I can teach you the Selenium WebDriver, I can teach you the Jenkins, I can teach you the DevOps process, I can teach you the what kind of the frameworks we can create, like the hybrid, key-driven, behavior-driven, Cucumber, lot of things we can cover as you like.
Mm. Yeah.
One
Thanks for
thing I
that.
want to make sure with you, what are the time suits for you for the session? Because let me tell you, let me be very clear, I am working in a night shift in 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. So I used to sleep around 4 a.m. So the 8 a.m. session will be very tough for me. Today I took because the Sumit is already scheduled this session. I don't want to change the schedule. But what is the time suits for you? What is your working timing like? Are you working in the US schedule? Are you working in a UK schedule?
For me,
Oh,
weekdays would not be possible because the time is not fixed for, the working hours are not fixed. So may not be able to commit time on the weekdays. Weekends, I can manage.
Okay. And what about you?
for
This
me, I'm
is,
working in
yeah.
US shift. That's a
Mhm.
night shift for me.
Okay, so what time suits you? Because we want to create a only one batch. It is not like we can create a separate batches. So let's decide what suits you both. Oh shit.
See,
What I Yeah.
you are there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
See,
there.
I'm working in night shift,
Mhm.
and